Welcome back to Dolls Amok. It's time for another unboxing video, and today we're going to unbox the American Girl Disney Frozen Elsa doll. Let's go! As you know, I am not into the collector series dolls in general. Peaches and Cream was my main exception. And in this case, I really wasn't attracted to the Frozen collector dolls, Elsa and Anna, who have been available until just recently. I think it was for about a year. They were available from American Girl. I didn't like the price. I'm not crazy about the packaging. And honestly, looking at the dolls and watching other unboxing videos, I didn't really feel that the dolls, even with the fancy box and the Swarovski crystals, were worth the price. So I had this sneaking suspicion that American Girl would eventually release a playline Elsa and Anna, and if I wanted to have them, I would wait until then. And I'm so glad I did, because sure enough, right after Anna finally sold out, they did, of course, release the playline Elsa and Anna. So this is playline Elsa. She just arrived yesterday. Actually, she was a surprise from my wonderful husband. He bought her for me. He got her ears pierced. I'm excited to show you that. He also got her extra outfit set, so we will be unboxing this as well today. This is the Frozen 2 outfit set. Does it say? Yes, sorry, it's right on the front. Disney Frozen Elsa travel set and the little Bruni salamander figure. So we will be opening that today. We will opening the doll. And being me, this is going to be a comparison video. I did bring out several other of my princess dolls to compare her to. We're going to compare skin tone because Elsa, I believe, is unique in having the very lightest skin tone American Girl has ever created. So I'm especially looking forward to comparing her to Cinderella, who before Elsa was the palest. And I'm going to compare her to a couple of other Marie Grace face molds as well. So we're going to just unbox this beautiful doll, who is absolutely gorgeous, and we're going to do a few comparisons, and I'd love to have you come along with me. So let's get to it. Before we start unboxing, I want to show you this gorgeous box she comes in. Here is the bottom of the box. I love this illustration of Elsa here. It is just the cutest thing. Look how cute. There's a picture of the doll, and then I love the background on the box with the periwinkle snow and the crystals. So pretty, and there she is looking gorgeous. Her head is tipped to one side, probably because they pierced her ears. So there you go. I just wanted to show this. I love the playline boxes. I feel like the collector boxes have gotten a lot of attention because they are really gorgeous, but these playline boxes are beautiful too. Okay, here's the big moment. It's so fun when they're all new and beautiful inside their box. Here we go, taking off the lid. And there she is, looking so pretty. Very much to me like opening the playline Belle doll. Just such a beautiful first impression. So I just want to show you her in her box. Look at that. I know you guys have probably seen other unboxing videos. It took a while for her to get here because I live on the West Coast, so shipping always takes a long time, but isn't that gorgeous? Okay, let me just get out this girl. So, see how she's tied in? So she does have a plastic band going around not just the top of, or not just the bottom of her arm, but kind of the middle of her arm and braid. So I just snipped that. The plastic cord actually goes through the elastic on her braid, which is a little odd. So just take your time when you're taking these dolls out of their boxes. And on the other arm, the other side, her non-braid side, there is just the one regular tie around the lower arm. Looks like she does not have anything around her waist, which is refreshing. Oh, but her gown is tacked to the bottom of the box. I wish they didn't do that. That is so annoying. It really slows things down. Stitching, and then there's tape over the stitching. And this is like, to me, this is opposite of playline. If it's a playline doll, I don't think you should have all the extra fancy packaging that makes it really hard to get into these dolls. This is supposed to be something a child can do quickly. I don't really see why we have to have all this stitching. I think it's ridiculous. So I'm just going to put that out there. American Girl, cut it out with the stitching. We don't need it. If we're playline collectors, we do not need the extra fancy stitching. I say nothing about the collector series. That's a whole different ball game. Plus I have to then peel tape off of my box, which injures the box. So not my favorite thing, but there we go. We got through that. And then we still do have the regular plastic loops. She has no bands protecting her ankles from the loops, which, considering the fact that they stitched the dress down, seems a little bit careless. Like, don't you think consistency is key in packaging if you're going to go to all the effort of stitching the dress down in front? Moving on. So I do have her earrings. I have a zillion of these sets. So not a super big deal. The dress is so pretty. And I'm going to lift her out of the box, and I'll be right back with a better camera angle. I had a slight mishap. Beautiful Elsa just took a nosedive when I was setting her up for the camera. I caught her and the end of my nail scuffed across her cheek, and she ended up with a streak of my bright scarlet nail polish across her cheek. So I had to stop and go get my magic eraser. I gave her a little scrub down with magic eraser. It's mostly gone. I will go back in when we're finished and do a little bit more of a thorough cleaning job. But if you see a scuff on her cheek, that's what's happening. She didn't arrive with that. She just got that. So it kind of brings home the point that this doll is exceptionally fair-skinned. I already knew that. I knew ahead of time when Elsa first came out as a collector's doll that she has the palest, whitest skin tone they've ever made. I actually didn't care for it in the stock images. I thought it looked a little cadaver-like. It looked very unhealthy to me. Also just because American Girl is not using much blush these days on their cheeks, so she just seemed very white, and I didn't find that attractive. However, as people have gotten the collector dolls and shared them on Instagram over the last year, I realized that she's actually really beautiful in her own right, in her own kind of spectral way, and I've come around. And then of course when the playline was released, that made all the difference for me. Here she is. Look at her. There's her thick braid. You can see that it comes in the package rather messy. It's a French braid of sorts, so we do have short ends kind of sticking out, which is interesting. It's fine. I'm going to be playing with her hair. It's not going to stay in the braid anyway. So one of the things that attracted me to the playline Elsa is just the rumor that her hair is actually a different material and a slightly different style than the original collector series Elsa, who has coarse hair. So I'm hoping that's true, but I'm just hoping that her hair feels playable. I like that there's actually a visible part here, so I think that's really cool. The only thing I don't like about it right out of the package is this little plastic tendril here. It is real hair, but they've put some really intense, like plasticky, goopy junk on it, and it just feels really crispy. I wish they wouldn't do that. If they think it's important to have a little tiny side bang, I wish it was just natural and not be kind of glued together. I will probably get that wet and brush it out and get rid of the gel medium, just because I want to be the one styling my doll's hair. I don't want American Girl to do that for me. But there we are. There's her beautiful dress. I think it's really eye-catching. It's beautiful. I love the overlayer, and look at this beautiful train, so pretty, and it does have glitter, which is not coming off. It does seem like it's just a glitter pattern on the fabric, but not really glued onto the fabric, if that makes sense. It's like kind of like those velour fabrics where the velour is burned away. We kind of have this pattern, a reverse pattern, where the snowflakes are the absence of glitter and the glitter goes kind of around them, if that makes sense. The snowflake and all the frost designs at the top are the reverse. At the bottom, they are actually the glitter. So that's really cool, the way it kind of transitions. Does that make sense? So this is like cutaway, so the crystals at the top have no glitter and the glitter goes around them. At the bottom of the train, we have the crystals actually being printed on with this glitter type material. So the point is, it's not really coming off. Okay, I'm seeing a few flecks on my skin, but not much, so I don't think that's going to make a real big mess. There is some on the sleeves as well. And we have a sequin bodice. To me, sequins don't say Elsa. To me, sequins say mermaid. It's just that they remind me of scales. Sequins to me don't say Ice Queens. So I think that's an interesting choice. I almost would have preferred just like a sparkly fabric and leave the sequins to the fish. That's just me. I'm excited to see the shoes. I know from seeing other reviews that they're really cute, and yes, they are very cute. They're similar to Cinderella's shoes. Now, as you can probably see by looking at the princesses behind her, I like to modernize my dolls. I like to play with their characters. They're not going to stay in character. So my main attraction to her is just that she's really unique with her unique skin tone, with her super white blonde hair, and her very kind of striking features. So I'm not going to keep her as Elsa. She's just going to be her own character. I'll be giving her her own name. So she's not going to play a lot in this outfit, and honestly, I'm sort of mediocre about it. I'm a little meh. I think it's pretty if you're a child or you really love Frozen and want to play out the Frozen storyline. I think there's value in that. But for me, I can't really see myself spending a lot of time displaying or playing with her in this dress. So, you know, I'll enjoy it now for the unboxing, put it away, and it'll probably get very little play in the future. I love her thick braid. I love that they gave her a lot of hair, so that's really encouraging. There is Miss Elsa fresh out of her box. And I think I showed you all the salient points. So there's the ear piercing, and it looks like, to my eye, they did a good job. Looks pretty even. I'm satisfied. Yeah, so next we're going to open her travel outfit, and then we're going to do some really fun comparisons. Okay, let's open up her travel outfit. I really just want to change her out of this dress. I know I didn't spend very long on it. That's just because I feel like there's not really a lot to say about it. It's very pretty, it's striking, it gives me a beautiful overall impression, but it's not something that I see myself playing a lot with in the future. I just am not interested in keeping her in Queen Elsa character. I love this outfit set that they made for her. To me, this has much more of the Snow Queen, Ice Queen vibe than this crazy dress. So that's why I'm just kind of like skimming over. I do think the shoes are really pretty, and I plan to pair them with other things, but I'm just more excited about changing her into other outfits, modernizing her, maybe making kind of a witch character out of her. She reminds me a lot of the White Witch from Narnia. So let's open this up. So again, this is the Disney Frozen Elsa travel outfit and Bruni figurine. And we're just going to open this up here. So this I loved with the pale ice blue and periwinkle tones. These are some of my favorite colors. Very wintry. I'm definitely a winter person. I ice skate, and so I'm all about the ice and the winter time. That is gorgeous. Oh my gosh. So I'm just going to take the pieces out, and then we'll look at them one by one. And I love the layers. Layers make me really happy. I think this was so fun and creative. I also love the little salamander. I only have seen Frozen 2 once. I'm going to have to watch it again. I don't really remember his character in the story, but since I will be recharacterizing things anyway, it doesn't really matter. I just thought he was adorable. So the first piece is this amazing ice blue, or almost like a powder blue leotard. This is a really unique piece. I don't know, have they done this in the past for like Marisol's dance outfits or anything like that? To my eye and in my collection, this is really unique, and I could see pulling this in a lot of different ways. Like I could see using this under something like this little dress on my Cinderella doll over here. So I think that's really fun and very versatile actually. So I'm excited about that. This I love. This is the sheer tunic, I guess, that layers on top of the leotard. I thought that was so clever. It's actually a very soft material. You know what it reminds me of is those kind of gauze canopies you can get for putting over your child's bed or your bed. You know what I mean? Like they're on a ring and you can kind of pull them down over the bed. Not mosquito netting, but something nicer than that. And we do have lots of ice crystal patterns. Very dynamic, actually. These are less crystally, like less snowflake, and more, to my eye, really jagged, energetic design. A much more dynamic look here. And there's kind of a starburst here where the belt would be. Here is the jacket. This is absolutely stunning. Look at that. Look at the ombre dye. So it's pale periwinkle at the shoulder on the cape epaulette, and then it darkens down the dress, and it does have this beautiful angular embroidery running all the way around the back hem. So pretty. And it's just embroidered. These are not beads. These are like little embroidered knots almost right above that pattern, but just has a really nice look. And I also love the two-tone embroidery. We have silver thread, we have purple thread. We do have some more glitter glue running down the sleeve, like so. And then we have the epaulettes with the attached cape. This feels very much the same material as this. And this does have, it looks like a print of some crystal patterns on the ends. And no closure, so it's going to flap open and show her tunic underneath. So I think that is really creative, very fun. To my eye, much more fun than the dress she arrives in. Honestly, I would have preferred that these Playline dolls just came in their extra outfits instead of the traditional outfit that we've already seen a version of with the collector's dolls and all the Swarovski crystals. That's just my take. I think this has way more play value. I think it's much more interesting. Very pretty. This is a glitter glue, and again, it seems really well attached. It's not coming off much, but I do see a few flecks of glitter on my fingers. So if this is being played with by a child, probably you're gonna find a little bit of glitter, but it's not like real loose. It's not coming off. That is so pretty. And then we do have, it looks like this is a belt with our Disney American Girl tag, just so we won't forget where the heck we bought this from. And your matching sort of crystalline frost pattern on the belt with the same glitter glue, and then also glitter glue on these beautiful boots. Aren't those gorgeous? I love these. Look at the soles. So pretty. It's almost like a purpley sole. That is gorgeous. And I could definitely see this with like a modern winter outfit. Just like a little nod to Elsa's character, but modernizing her. So I see so much value in this outfit, so much mix and match potential, and also a lot of ways that I could use this in a combination with modern clothes. So that's really exciting. Now let's open up the little Fire Spirit Salamander. So cute. Little fantasy element here. So I guess his name is Bruni. I don't really remember how we learned that in Frozen 2. My memory of the film is pretty vague, but I'll be definitely watching it again with my Elsa doll. But I love his little face. He's super cute. Hopefully you can see that. That's adorable. Okay, so I'm going to change her into this outfit because I'm kind of eager to get her out of this dress. And then once she's in this outfit, we'll do some comparison. Okay, I just have to show you really quick as I'm changing her these adorable undies that she is wearing. So I love how each of these Disney Princess Playline dolls, they have matching underwear that matches their sort of color theme. So for Elsa, we have two blues because this is more of a periwinkle blue over here, but these undies match her arrival dress, which is a very turquoisey blue. So she gets these lovely turquoise undies. Here she is in the beautiful powder blue, pastel blue leotard. And I just have to show you what a cool and unique outfit piece this is. Look at that. That could work under like a skiing outfit. It could work under a dance outfit. It could work under any dress or tunic, anything where she needs a little extra warmth, just a little extra sheen. I could see a sweater over this. I could see a skirt over this. I just think that is such a cool, versatile, creative piece. And I have to say, with her pale skin tone, she is rocking this ice blue. It's almost barely a blue. I don't know if you can tell, but it's almost like so pale that it's a gray. It's just really, really light, and I think that looks amazing on her. And here is Elsa in her complete travel outfit. There she is. Isn't that gorgeous? So again, I just feel like the pastel colors are so good for her pale, pale skin tone. I think they really bring out the turquoise blue of her eyes, and they actually help her skin feel a little healthier looking and less cadaverous. I still think there is something very spectral about her appearance. It's starting to work with my imagination in an appealing way. She's just this fantasy character, so I think it works well. I know some people are incredibly pale, which is wonderful. I think the stock images just make her look unhealthy. In person, I feel like she has a little bit more of a glow. Now again, I have some afternoon sunlight in this room, which might be warming things up a little bit in here. So under artificial lights or, you know, possibly in a colder lighting, she might look a little bit more spectral. But in this lighting, she's looking pretty nice. There's the outfit. You can see how gorgeous that is on her. Has this cape. I don't like that the tag does show a little bit. You kind of have to poke it under the belt, and you do have to get it closed just right or it doesn't sit square. But there's that. I will say the one piece of the outfit I'm not really feeling is the belt. I know that it's part of the look. It kind of is what closes the jacket. We don't have any frog closures or buttons or zippers or anything like that. And it's fine. It's really pretty actually the way it draws the darker periwinkle up on the jacket. I just really like the jacket hanging open. I'm going to show you why. So if we take the belt off, the jacket just has this free flowing, slightly more A-line look, and I love that. So there is the see-through tunic underneath with the beautiful starburst pattern, and there's this marvelous jumpsuit. So I will say the jumpsuit is slightly sheer. You can definitely see her turquoise undies a little bit through that in bright lighting like this, but I think it's lovely. It's one of my favorite pieces. This jacket is marvelous, so much play value, really nice thick material. It feels like some sort of nylon. It's lined along the front, and it's just a nice slick material. It does pull on really easily. I will say though that the sheer jacket, or sorry, the sheer tunic underneath has long pointed sleeves, and the jacket has long pointed sleeves. So when you pull these sleeves over the other long sleeves, the under sleeves do tend to roll up, which can be a little awkward. I had to stick my finger under and pull the end of the sleeve down. So there she is, looking absolutely gorgeous. Here's her little friend, her little salamander. She can't really hold him, and he doesn't, well, look at that. He does sit on her shoulder like that. Super cute little salamander there. So there she is in the travel outfit. So as far as my review of this outfit, I would give this a solid A. I do think at $60 it is overpriced. However, I think you do get a lot for that price. And I definitely think it sets off Elsa's particular kind of beauty very well. The pieces are fun separately and together. So I would say it's a good buy. I'm happy with that. As far as Playline Elsa herself, I also give her a solid A. I think it's really nice that she has a clear part. The hair, we're going to get into this. I would like to take her hair out and compare it to Cinderella's, but so far it feels manageable and playable. I like that they give you the little clips in her hair. She has the beautiful eyebrows and the beautiful dark turquoise eyes, beautiful facial coloring. I just think she's lovely. I think, you know, the Marie Grace face mold has always been one of my less favorite molds, but it's been growing on me the last few years, and I think it really suits Elsa. It's really rather spectacular. The pale skin tone is quite unique. And again, I feel like she has a very fantasy appearance, so she has a lot of actual versatile play value. Now, as to the skin tone, I just want to point out something that I noticed when I was just changing her into the travel outfit. I noticed that the ends of her fingers were dirty. Now, all I've done today is take her out of the box, set her here with her hands behind her, and change her outfit once, and the ends of her fingers were already looking dirty. This is a clean surface. There shouldn't be anything dirty in here, so I'm really mystified as to what she was picking up. I kind of rubbed at it with my fingers and it came off. I also have a magic eraser that I use to take my fingernail polish scratch off of her cheek. But I just want to point out that for children, these dolls are going to get dirty. With skin this pale and white, you're going to see everything on it. So you'll probably have to clean your doll more often. Nothing wrong with that, just something to be aware of. And I thought I would mention it. Like the end of her nose, see, I'm seeing a little mark there already. Just her cheeks, the nose, anything that comes into contact on the doll, any ends, fingers, toes that comes into contact with any other surface is going possibly to get smudged really noticeably. And I would also say just be really careful about dye transfer, especially with off-brand outfits. Anything that is not American Girl, and even some of the American Girl outfits, can cause dye transfer. So any dark colors, rich colors, bright colors like reds, black, navy blue, just be really, really cautious about putting those things and keeping them on the doll. So yeah, I give her a really solid grade. I think she's absolutely gorgeous. The only things really that annoy me so far is the gel plasticky feeling on this little tendril. I'm going to have to take care of that. I would say American Girl could definitely work on the blush department for their dolls. I feel like they're coming out of the factories way too pale. I think a little more would be nice. She is basically nothing, and even if she's an ice queen, it might be nice to see a little color in her cheeks. But yeah, that's about all I can say as far as detraction. I'm really excited to compare her to my other dolls. I'm excited to modernize her and dress her up in some different outfits and go from here. Okay, it is comparison time. This is always one of my favorite parts of getting a new doll is just comparing them to other dolls in my collection. So here is beautiful Miss Elsa, and these are my other 4 princess dolls that are currently in my collection. I'm going to compare Elsa to each of the other princess dolls that I have, and we're also just going to do some skin tone comparisons and Marie Grace face mold comparisons. Not a lot, but just to give me a feeling and hopefully let you see what makes her skin tone so unique. The first doll that I want to compare her to is Cinderella. The reason this is a comparison that I've really been looking forward to making is that previously Cinderella was the palest skin tone American Girl has ever created, and then they came out with Anna and Elsa. Let's compare them. You can see that with Cinderella right next to her, Elsa looks really fair. To my eye, Cinderella looks healthy, and that's fascinating because against any other doll, Cinderella looks incredibly pale. So hopefully I can set them up in a way that you can kind of see this. Let's see if you can see their faces side by side. You can see just the whiteness of Elsa's face versus the more peachy color of Cinderella's face. Now they do have a face mold difference as well. Elsa has the Marie Grace face mold and Cinderella has the Josefina face mold. So different face molds. I believe the eye colors are different. I'm going to bring them closer to the camera for this. Hopefully you can see. It looks to me that Elsa has a turquoise eye color, whereas we know that Cinderella has the old dark blue, say that Kit and number 27 and a few other dolls have had over the years. Do you see that? It's just got a slightly more greenish tone, but it's not a gray green like Rapunzel's eyes. It's definitely more of a blue, and it's fairly dark. Again, almost any blue would look dark with her skin as pale as it is, but that is definitely not the same blue as Cinderella. And you can see also here the difference in their hair colors. Even though Cinderella's hair is very fair and light, it is much more of a gold, and Elsa's is more of a white. So really striking. I actually really like them both. I think both of them are really fun dolls. They're really fun to play with, they're fun to dress up, fun in their own right. I just wanted to show you arms here. So I'm going to peel up her sheer sleeve, and you can see again the skin tone. Since it's a little harder to tell with lips and faces, there is the difference in the skin tone. She's not in the sun, she's just that white compared to Cinderella's peach skin. Other differences, I would say, of course, Cinderella comes with her ears pierced. Elsa does not. The lip color is much more of a soft, like a carnation pink for Cinderella, and it's much more of a rose pink, a little bit deeper on Elsa. Eyebrow shape is different. Elsa has that slightly arched shape there, which looks very coy. It looks a little mischievous, which I think suits her character. Cinderella has more of the soft curve that was more popular in the 50s. And of course, Cinderella, I have her in an Etsy outfit. She has one of the best, in my opinion, shoes that American Girl has ever made, and she's wearing those because they're very special, her glass slippers. Actually, since some of you might be geeking out about this a little bit, let's just compare Cinderella's glass slippers with Elsa's crystal slippers. So these are Elsa's shoes that she came in, and you can see they are similar but a little bit more basic. Cinderella's do have these 3 crystals, and Elsa's just have this jagged cutout with like a layer of pleather that's got some glitter on it to look sparkly, but it's less fancy. I think Cinderella's are more special. However, I really like these. I love the clear plastic. It definitely gives the right look for her character, and I plan to be using these in some of her modern ensembles. Cinderella's glass slippers that are so gorgeous and fantastic. Here is Elsa's slippers side by side. Hopefully you can kind of see that. There's that comparison for you. This is Belle and Elsa, and this is really interesting to me because I believe it's lighter than the 05 light skin tone. We're going to check this against a 05 doll and see if I'm right. However, my impression was that Belle is also quite pale, but next to Elsa, she looks downright olive skinned. So I find that really interesting. Let's bring them into the camera and you can kind of see that. You see what I mean? Look at how olivey Belle looks compared to Elsa's whiteness. They do have very similar lip colors. Of course, Belle has the Josefina face mold, Marie Grace, so there's that difference. My Belle has custom eyes. The eyebrow shape is different. Belle's are flatter, a little more serious, whereas Elsa's are arched and a little bit more mischievous. And Belle does come with pierced ears. Even the Playline Belle does. Really fun. I love that American Girl is doing more of these unique skin tones now. I think that's really exciting. It's one of those things that I find just adds variety as a collector, so I really enjoy that. Next we have Elsa and Ariel. Ariel is not wanting to stand up, so if she topples over, it's just one of those things. Elsa and Ariel. So Ariel has a unique to her skin tone. It is also quite pale. I believe it's equivalent to the 05 paleness, but it is more peachy. Next to Elsa, she looks suntanned. And this is again really interesting because next to other dolls, Ariel looks incredibly pale. So just very different. I think this comparison really washes Elsa out. I don't know if you can see that in the camera, but to my eye, next to Ariel, Ariel looks so sun-kissed and healthy. It makes me feel a little worried for her. Let's just put it that way. But let's see, arm comparison. Here you can see the peach versus the white. Very, very different. And then up close, one interesting factoid that I'm picking up here is they do have the same eye color. It looks to my eye the same. I would have preferred they'd given Elsa her own unique eye color because I think it's kind of fun to have each of these princesses have something unique and special. Of course, Ariel does have her special red hair. Same eyes. Lip color is very different though. So Ariel's lip color is more of a soft coral. It's not even a carnation pink. It's really more of a coral. It goes really nicely with her skin tone. Elsa's is more of a rose pink, so that's pretty different. Eyebrow shape is similar, but Ariel's is longer and smoother, and the arch is just a little bit longer, whereas Elsa's is more peaked. So they do have unique eyebrows. That's really fun. I like that they are keeping the eyebrows different for each character. And then obviously face mold is different. That's Nenea, Marie Grace. Hair color is very, very different. I would love to see a comparison between Anna and Ariel. I would love to see that comparison. Definitely let me know if anybody has done that comparison or knows of a video showing it. I'd love to see that. Just let me know in the comments. Okay, the last of my beautiful princess dolls is my Tiana. It's funny, I forget that she's even a princess. I love this doll, don't get me wrong. It's just that in my collection, she's so thoroughly her own character that I forget that she was ever a princess. I don't really use her beautiful green meat outfit at all, and she's just her own person. She's just so thoroughly herself that I forget she even has any Disney tie-in. I often just see her almost like a historical doll in my collection and not a Disney princess at all. But I wanted to do this for the comparison here. Obviously, totally different face molds, Claudia and Marie Grace. We have different skin tones. They both have a unique to them skin tone, so I love Tiana's skin tone. And it's just gorgeous to my eye. It is so beautiful. They both have unique eyebrow shapes. You can see that is more of a smooth, soft arch, and this is more of a peaked arch. They have different eye colors. Obviously, they have very different hair, so totally different dolls, but if you have both of these dolls or you want to get them, I think they're wonderful. I just think these Disney dolls are so fun. I just had to show you Elsa with each of my other princesses. All right, and really quickly, I just wanted to do a Marie Grace face mold comparison. All three of these dolls have the newer incarnation of the Marie Grace face mold. Marie Grace has changed so much. When they did the Truly Me revamp in 2022, they brought the Marie Grace face mold back, but they did make some differences that are pretty significant. Mostly, they lengthened the neck. Marie Grace kind of had a short neck. This is a custom 116. This is Lily. She's one of my own custom creations. She has the lightest skin tone in the Truly Me lineup. That's the 05 lightness. I gave her freckles, I gave her blush, I gave her a unique lip color, and I gave her this wonderful Dallas Doll Company wig that I had in my stash, and she has hazel eyes. This, of course, is American Girl of the Year, Kavi. Kavi has the regular medium skin tone. I think it's the one dubbed number 20. Is that correct? So right here, I just wanted to show off how incredibly tan 05 looks next to Elsa's white. Isn't that crazy? And then beautiful Kavi looks almost dark in comparison. I just find that mind-blowing and so fun. They have each different eyebrow patterns. Kavi has the heavier brush, and this is the eyebrow shape that the Marie Grace face molds in the Truly Me lineup got. It's a brush, but it's not as heavy at the front of the brush as Kavi's. And then again, Elsa's unique little koi arch. Just that little question mark right there is so cute. So there are those 3 Marie Grace face molds. All right, last but not least, I wanted to do a lineup of all the light skin tone shades so you can kind of see them all together. I find this so fascinating, and if I'm geeking out on this, I apologize. These are the kinds of things that I really enjoy in doll collecting. So for this comparison, I did not bring out any of the darker tones. I love all of the skin tones American Girl makes, so this is absolutely nothing against the darker tones. Just for the sake of my space, my limited space here, I just wanted to show the lights so we could compare that. So of course we have Elsa here at the front, the very lightest they've ever made. It has almost a very pearly look to it, and she could definitely make a really good ghost. So if you're looking for a doll that you can make goth or push in the ghost direction, I think she's a great choice for that, and I'm really looking forward to Halloween this year. I'm going to have some fun. Cinderella, who was before Elsa the very palest, you can see again, like we pointed out in the side-by-side comparison, just looks a little healthier, a little more peachy. Pinky white skin tone from her. I think she pulls that off really well. Belle is also really pale. You can see that with Cinderella. It's not really that she's much darker, as more that she has just different undertones. To my mind, she has just more of an olive. So if you use my hand as a comparison, I have a lot of yellow and olive in my skin tone, and you can see how much more peachy Cinderella looks, whereas Belle and I actually match each other. She's paler than I am, but she and I have more of a similar undertone going on there. And then Ariel is interesting. I can't really decide if they're lighter or just different. To my eye, it's the same shade of lightness versus darkness. It's just that hers is peach and hers is more olive, but I could definitely see them reversed in the lineup as well. You know, however you choose to see that, I just find that really interesting. This is the 05 lightness. It's actually, you know, I did not know this. I thought Belle was not 05. I thought she was lighter than 05, but here I'm almost feeling that she is the same as 05. So I'm going to go ahead and switch. I'm going to change my mind here, and hopefully they will not all fall over and fall down when I do this. Here, just so we can see her and 05 side by side. Is it just a different tone? Is it the same? It's harder to tell with the face because I did give my custom 116 so much blush that she has a much warmer look. So I would just look at the arms, and I have to say, to my eye, that is the same. So that's news to me. I did not know that. So yeah, in this lineup, I guess I would put Elsa, Cinderella, Ariel, and then Belle next to 05 as far as getting successively darker. And then this back here, this is 131, my beautiful girl Haley. This is what used to be the lightest skin tone back in the day before they developed the then lightest of all, which isn't the lightest of all anymore. Before they developed 05, this was number 10, and it's just very olive. So I really love that American Girl has given us so many shades, because we can do, as creators and also just as doll collectors, so many more variations, like with the fair and with the redheads, than we used to be able to do with just the 10 skin tone. And I will say that the 10 skin tone has darkened a little bit over the last few years. It does look a little bit more medium than it used to, but there you go. So Elsa, Cinderella, Ariel, Belle, 05, and 10 skin tone. I hope I didn't weird anybody out with all of my skin tone comparison. Honestly, there's no judgment for me whatsoever about the beauty or the value of any of the skin tones versus any of the other skin tones. I just love the differences. I love all the skin tones. I don't think American Girl has ever made a skin tone that I have not appreciated. I have almost all of them currently in my collection. I think the only one I'm missing is Moana, and I think she's gorgeous too. I think they're all beautiful, and I love how much variety there is now. So I'm just doing this because when I'm getting dolls and, you know, collecting dolls and opening dolls and playing with dolls, I just notice the little differences, and that's the only reason why I did this. So hopefully that doesn't make anybody uncomfortable. Just so many different choices now than we used to have, which is really fun. My dream would be that all of the skin tones, all of the face molds, all of the eye colors, all of the hair colors would be available in the Create Your Own generator so that somebody could really create the doll of their dreams. Okay, let's talk about Elsa's hair. I am so excited. I just took her hair out of the braid that she arrives in, and it is so gorgeous. Look at this hair. Isn't this so pretty? So I still haven't taken it out of the half ponytail. It's kind of like in a half twisted ponytail. And then it wasn't actually a French braid at all. They fooled you into thinking it was a French braid, but this is in fact just a twisted half ponytail pulled from the center and the sides. And then this was split into 3 pieces and then braided. The point is, this is an absolutely gorgeous head of hair. I am so excited. I am so stunned. It is so much prettier than I expected. It has these lovely crimpy waves from the meat hairstyle. It is so soft. It is so shiny. It is so lovely. Look at this. It's so beautiful. It's gorgeous. Oh my gosh, that goes so far toward making her feel like a really special purchase. Just the fact that she has such a gorgeous head of hair. And let me show you also the clips that she comes in. She had these 3 plastic little snowflakes in her braid, and they are plastic clips, but what's interesting about them is this back part is flexible, soft plastic. Not like a hard plastic. So they're not going to break as easily as like a brittle plastic would. So there's 3 of these. They look to be identical. Those were in her braid. They can easily be put back into her hair in different hairstyles. I'm just so excited that her hair is beautiful and playable. I'm not taking it down out of the half pony yet. First, let's compare it to 2 of the other princesses that have very different hair. First is Ariel, who has absolutely gorgeous hair, so shiny, so glossy, so lovely. So hopefully you can see that. And the other hair that I really want to compare her to is Cinderella. Everybody knows that Cinderella has a very unfortunate wig, and so I just want to take it down. I have it in this sort of messy ponytail here. I did take her out of the meat style because to me play dolls are meant to be played with, so there was no way Cinderella was going to stay in her meat hairstyle with the bun. I took it down, I carefully went through and recurled it, and it is sort of a very soft frizzy rat's nest. And so I just wanted to compare Elsa's hair to these other 2 princesses so you can kind of see what we're talking about here. So Ariel's hair is long, it's strong, it's incredibly shiny and glossy. Now mine has a slightly thinner wig. I know there's variations. Some people got Ariel's with really thick wigs. Mine happens to have a slightly thinner one and also not as curly. Some people's Ariel's is a little bit more curly. Mine is more of a loose wave. But the fiber, the material that Ariel's hair is made out of is absolutely gorgeous. It's so fun. It's so soft. It just wants to be played with. So to me, this is like the A+ in the princess line. And I would say compared to that, Elsa's hair has the same glossiness. It's a little bit, I would say, well, it's really similar. It's very similar to Ariel's hair, the texture. Maybe just a little finer, but I'm not sure. That could be my imagination. And mine has a really thick wig. Like there is a lot of hair here. So this is so exciting. It is nothing like Cinderella's hair. So my Cinderella's hair is not dry. I know some people had issues with dry hair. It's just incredibly curly and layered and kind of thin, the combination of which makes it really hard to have down and actually look nice without like constantly making it perfect. If you've ever had Caroline and you remember how much work it takes to keep Caroline's long curls looking good, that's what Cinderella's hair reminds me of. I don't really understand why they made it so curly. It didn't need to be this way. It could have been more just a soft wave, a stronger fiber, and I think it would have held up to play better. So you can see there is so much curl in her hair. Also, it's just incredibly layered. Like these pieces are really short compared to these pieces down here. So to make that look nice when it's down, you have to constantly go in there with like a spritzing water bottle and like recurl each section. It can be done, but it's a little tiresome. And I just want to say that Elsa's hair is nothing like that. It's strong, it's soft, it is shiny. It does have some wave from the braids, so if this is a child playing with this, it's pretty long, and so it could definitely end up a frizzy mess. So make sure that if you are giving this doll to a child, you use a proper wire wig brush, that you use some water, dampen the hair, brush it patiently, do section by section. There's a lot of hair here, and so to keep it looking nice, you just want to be like really kind to it. But I think this wig is going to be so fun to play with. Much more like Ariel's wig. Let me bring Elsa a little closer to the camera here, and I want to show you how much hair she has. So this is me making a ponytail. I don't know if you can tell the twist test. This is a lot of hair, and it's a lot all one length, so it's incredibly thick. Can you see that shine? It's shiny, it's gorgeous. I'm so excited. The only thing I don't like about it is this little piece here being gelled, which is totally unnecessary in my humble opinion. That didn't need to happen. It either needs to not be there at all, or it needed to be left alone. I will have to wash that. So I am gonna take it all the way out, enjoy like braiding it and other styles. I just wanted to show you that part of my A+ for the doll is this gorgeous head of hair. So thank you for joining me today. I hope this was fun for you to see. This was a really fun unboxing video for me. I feel so excited to play with my doll and see what direction I want to take her. She definitely feels like she's going to be really fun as a fantasy doll. I could see her as like a fairy, as a witch, as a ghost, as just a Celtic maiden. I'm getting really, really strong like Scottish vibes. She seems like she has that incredibly pale kind of Celtic complexion, and I know that Scotland has a long, luscious history of witches. I'm kind of excited to explore some of these ideas with her, and it's going to be so fun to dress her up and play with her, especially around Halloween. So thank you for joining me today. Please give this video a like. Please subscribe. I hope you're having fun. I hope you're giving yourself lots of doll time. I hope you are taking time for whatever it is that brings you joy. See you next time. Bye.